morning, York. I'm Annie Razer, and on this episode of YTV News, we'll look at a COVID vaccine story, a look into a popular true crime Netflix show, and the girls' badminton team. All this and more, but first, some announcements. Now, from Empower Club, a story for Women's History Month. Every March, the country celebrates the accomplishments of women in American history. How did this shift come about? On March 19, 1911, a German woman named Clara Zetkin organized the very first International Women's Day. Inspired by American working women, the annual event took on the cause of peace inspired by in an effort to end World War I, as well as women's rights. Over the years, interest in International Women's Day dwindled. It gained momentum again in the 1960s, when the women's movement caused women to wonder why they weren't included in the history books. Thank you, Empower Club, for continuing the fight. Do you want to help the York community next year? The application for ambassadors is now available until Friday, March 26th. Find the application on the ambassadors webpage under Clubs and Activities on the York homepage. Applications are only online and will remain available until Friday, March 26th at 3 p.m. The application period only happens once a year. Ambassadors help at all school events, help new transfer students, and host 8th grade private school shadow students. Questions? Email counselors Ms. Delaski or Mrs. Julian. Thank you, and now over to Zach for some more announcements.
Thank you, Annie. Starting on Monday, March 15th, York students will have the opportunity to attend 4 days a week regarding in-person learning. In order to attend school during these days, students have to log into PowerSchool and fill out a form. If students do choose to attend fully in person, there are regulations that a student could read over before they confirm they will be in person. Please reach out to your counselor if you have any questions or concerns. Congratulations to York students who participated in the Family, Career, and Community Leaders of America Regional Virtual Competition on February 4th and February 5th. FCCLA is a career and technical student organization that provides personal growth, leadership, development, and career preparation opportunities for students in family and consumer sciences education. Students developed presentations, demonstrated skills, and showcased knowledge in areas such as fashion, culinary arts, culture, children's literature, interior design, and education careers.
The rollout of COVID-19 vaccines are finally happening. Here's an interesting story of how vaccines have a limited shelf life.
As the newly developed COVID-19 vaccine leaves many hopeful, it has become a priority in many hospitals to waste as few doses as possible. Like many other specialists, Dr. Hassan Gokul of Houston was given the order on December 29, 2020 to administer every dose that would otherwise be thrown away. The Moderna vaccine vials contain 10 to 11 doses each, and after 6 hours of being opened, they are no longer viable. After puncturing a new vial, Dr. Gokul was committed to finding 10 other eligible patients to receive the vaccine. He made an effort to call both acquaintances and strangers to invite them to his own home and receive a dose. At the very last moment, he administered the last dosage to his wife, who has a pulmonary disease. Dr. Gokul's actions caused him to soon be fired by the suburban Houston hospital and charged with theft. Fortunately for him, the charge was rejected by the courts. While many believe that Dr. Gokul's decision to administer the vaccine was heroic, he has faced many repercussions from the world around him. In a recent telephone interview, he stated, quote, "It was my world coming down, to have everything collapse on you. God, it was the lowest moment of my life," end quote. For YTV News, I'm Talia Giorno.
Now let's hop over to a story of a true crime show on Netflix that was released earlier this year that stirred up a controversy.
If you're like me, then you're probably into a good true crime docuseries. Well, the thing is, we're both in luck, as on January 13th, Netflix released a new true crime docuseries that looks into the Night Stalker. The Night Stalker, or formerly known as Richard Ramirez, was a serial murderer and rapist that terrorized the streets of Los Angeles in the 1980s, as he was best known for his gruesome and malicious murders of his victims. The Netflix true crime docuseries goes into a deep dive looking into and showing the actions of the Night Stalker. In fact, This is where the controversy of the series starts up, as many viewers think that the showing of the crime scene photos that showed gruesome material was wrong and inappropriate. However, other viewers came to defend the show, emphasizing the point that it is a true crime documentary series, so it being real and showing the evidence is all a part of telling the story. Also, others liked on how dark and twisted it was, as it seemed to bring the viewer into the shoes of the Night Stalker. Nonetheless, viewers again thought it just glorified the murderer instead of honoring the victims. It honestly seems to me as if viewers are split down the middle, trying to decide whether if it is a notable true crime docuseries or if it is one that takes it over the line. Overall, I have to say, if you're planning on watching the true crime docuseries, then expect to see real photos from the crime scenes, because that was just the way the producers want to captivate the audience that clicked on the series for a reason. Well, that's it for this time on Movie Rundown Quick Clips. I'm Kathryn Casnoli, and if you're planning on watching The Night Stalker, expect graphic storytelling. See you later.
Thank you, Kathryn. Now that sports are starting back up, Reese has made a short video featuring badminton.
And I'm Zach. From everyone at YTV, have a great day, York.
Take me back to when my thoughts were mine. Seems that every time I try to think, I lose my mind. Take me back to the day I said hello. Oh, to think there was a world when you were nothing more than a passing phase. So to go back to those days. Your image stuck in these four walls, so I started writing these old songs. You could see right through my words, I was singing at you. And when you walked into my life, I didn't know you'd steal my mind and rob my soul of any thoughts apart from you. Oh, take me back to when we watched the sun. I felt your gaze lay on my eyes, and suddenly